There are many things in this world that probably shouldn't exist but still do anyway. Things like nuclear weapons, this bootleg Game Boy I bought straight out of a Walmart, and much more recently, the Darth Vader NPC in Fortnite that utilizes generative AI and emulates James Earl Jones' voice in order to have live conversations with players. That's right! If you drop into Fortnite right now, you can have a chat with Darth Vader himself, and you can ask him literally anything. What could possibly go wrong? Apparently a lot. Surprising absolutely no living human being, and that statement is relevant to this story actually. It took Fortnite players absolutely no time at all to get the Darth Vader AI to start swearing, using slurs, and even commenting about Chun-Li's butt. Epic even put out a statement saying they were going to fix the AI in order to get it to stop saying things it was already supposedly programmed not to say. I mean, what's the hotfix supposed to fix exactly? If the thing was already programmed not to say these different words and phrases, and then people were able to figure out a way to go around the programming, then that seems like kind of an issue. But the fact that people were able to outsmart the AI's programming isn't that surprising, and in my opinion, it's the least shocking thing about this entire Darth Vader AI situation. The fact that they even used generative AI in order to allow people to have conversations with Darth Vader in Fortnite is just so absurd. Who was asking for this? Nobody! Not a single person was sitting around thinking, hey, you know what would make this Fortnite Star Wars collab season even better? Is if I could ask Darth Vader if he thinks the Earth is flat. I know that Epic's CEO Tim Sweeney is a big tech bro, and he still believes in the concept of every video game being connected with each other so that you can trade assets between them all and it'll all work perfectly. Besides the fact that that's not how game development works, and you can't just take one game's assets and then make them compatible with every single other video game in the world, they couldn't even get Nintendo to agree to let them use Samus Aran in Fortnite. Nintendo literally told them that the only way they would agree to put Samus in Fortnite was if her skin was only visible to people using a Nintendo Switch to play the game. Now, for the record, I think that was a very stupid thing for Nintendo to argue, but it just goes to show you that Tim Sweeney's big fantasy of uniting the gaming world through NFTs and the blockchain doesn't have much of a leg to stand on if they can't even get a simple collaboration with Nintendo to go through. Which brings me back to the Vader AI. Did Sweeney or anyone else at Epic for that matter, or even Disney, not stop to think that if you put an AI into Fortnite for Darth Vader and you allow people to just ask him literally anything, that people weren't going to abuse that? Every single person dabbling in AI development right now should be perfectly aware that the one thing people want to do when you release an AI is to try to break it and make it do things it's not supposed to do. Absolutely anyone on this planet can get the most advanced AI in the world to say that the moon is made out of cheese if you choose the right words when you ask it a question. These AI programs are just robots trying to emulate people. But what makes this one so much more gross is that it's using the voice of a dead man. I'm sure a lot of you by now are aware that there's been a big voice actor strike going on for the last little while against a lot of big video game companies because they refuse to sign agreements that say they won't use the voice actor's audio to train their AI so they can ultimately replace them. I'm pretty sure Epic was one of the companies that the actors are striking against, though if I remember correctly, they weren't asking anyone to actually stop playing the games, just to spread awareness of what's going on with the strike. Some of the video game companies have actually already started using AI voice acting, and it sounds just as bad as you would expect it to sound. Of course, most working voice actors want to keep working. They want to keep being able to bring characters to life and not have to worry about being replaced by robots. Well, there was one guy who decided that he was perfectly fine selling the rights to his voice to Disney so that they could use it in generative AI so that he could live on as the voice of this character forever and ever. Yeah, James Earl Jones did that. I need you to think about this for a second. A man agreed to sell the rights to his voice to Disney for them to replicate whenever they want, for whatever project they want, as long as his family signs off on it. And what sucks is that a lot of people are defending this AI's existence, saying it's what Jones wanted, so he should get it. Yeah, in a different Disney movie, specifically The Little Mermaid, Ariel signs away the rights to her voice to Ursula. Do you think that was a smart move to make? And as someone who actually has dabbled in voice acting, including, yes, paid work that I was compensated for, I don't really care that James Earl Jones was perfectly fine with his voice being used for AI. If you're an actor, and you come to accept the reality that at some point you are going to die and no longer be here to voice a character that you enjoy voicing, and you start making moves to prevent anyone from ever being able to voice that character even after you're gone, I think that makes you kind of a douchebag. I need people to truly grasp what Jones did when he agreed to give Disney the right to do with his voice whatever they wanted with an AI machine. He is gatekeeping a role from beyond the grave, which seems like an extra douchey move to make as a voice actor when you consider that there are other voice actors who have portrayed Darth Vader in the past. Think about how this would apply to other aspects of the voice acting industry. Where would Eric Bauza be right now as the primary voice of most of the Looney Tunes today if a Mel Blanc AI existed? Mel Blanc is a certified legend in the voice acting industry, and Eric Bauza cites him as a direct influence for his career. But here's the thing with living. You don't get to do it forever. To reference another Disney film, that's the circle of life. Once you're gone, your time to experience things on this world is over. So to me, it's just absolutely ridiculous and kind of bizarre that a man who is dead is allowed to hold on to this role and keep it despite the fact that he is no longer here to be able to perform it. But wait, you say, you can't do a live conversation with actual voice actors. You need AI to be able to pull this off. You're absolutely right. And my response to that is, then just don't do it. Nobody asked to be able to have a conversation with Darth Vader in real time, and now you're having to put out statements to apologize because people heard things they didn't want to hear it say. I really hope most people will realize that this AI Darth Vader thing is just going to be used as an excuse to get rid of all of the voice actors in the game, because if being able to talk to your favorite animated character and ask them absolutely anything and everything, then why don't we apply this to more characters in the future? And Jones being perfectly okay with AI using his voice is only going to hurt the industry long term as well, because they'll just hire a few newer actors to come in, say a few lines, have it in their database, and then they never have to pay those actors again. I don't want to see actors or musicians or artists or anyone in any creative field lose job opportunities because companies would rather pay less for a computer to regurgitate fake acting because it'll save them money. Not long ago, there was a clip going around of an anime with an English dub using AI, and I'm not going to post the clip here because I don't want my video to get demonetized, but I can promise you it was the worst sounding acting I've ever heard. I don't care how much money you saved on not hiring voice actors, but as a matter of fact and not opinion, that sucked. Probably in a very similar way that several voice actors are still striking against Genshin Impact, we haven't heard Jones or Hope speak for quite a while now. But if Epic takes the reaction to this Darth Vader AI as a positive, then they decide to just not hire actors for their storylines anymore, then that may be the end of it for those characters. I mean, personally, I think it would be a much better choice to just bring in professional actors and have them read written lines that were already cleared and okayed so that my company wouldn't possibly get in any kind of trouble than just turning an AI on and letting it loose in the gaming community of all places. For now, I'm going to pass on making any new Fortnite content until we can see how Epic is going to handle this whole AI thing going forward. I just hope this whole situation isn't used to normalize using AI for voice acting in video games. Because not only do I think that it'll hurt the video game industry and the voice acting industry, but it will hurt any industry at all that utilizes art. Because all you're doing with AI is automating creativity. But what do you guys think? How do you feel about this Fortnite Darth Vader AI? Does the idea of having a real-time conversation with a video game NPC that utilizes the voice of a dead man who refused to surrender his role even after he died sound appealing to you? Thanks for watching this video, I really appreciate it. If you want to support my channel, then hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Now, I'm gonna go watch WALL-E again, because I think there just might be a moral lesson to take away from that film that suggests that maybe it's not a good idea for humans to let robots do everything for them.